Hello, everybody, and welcome to another one of these goalie breakdowns. Today, we are focused on Michael Hrabal of the Omaha Lancers out of the USHL, looking at his December 17th game to the 2022 versus the Waterloo Blackhawks. Picked this game because it's kind of still close to now, about a month and a half away, so probably not any major changes, and if there are, we're going to go back to him later on this year. And it's against a good team in Waterloo. And if you watch the Kendra Woodland video, you know I like watching these goalies against good teams. Now, Michael Hrabal, if you've seen or heard that name before, it's probably because you've seen him on public lists pretty high for a goalie, either late first round or early second round. And if you've seen those lists and you're trying to think to yourself, okay, how good is this goalie that he's made it this high in the lists? Well, let's take a look and find out just why Michael Hrabal is ending up so high on these lists. So if you watch any of these videos before, you'll notice that I always like starting with the movement. It's the very base of how a goalie works. If a goalie cannot move, then that person cannot goalie. Alright, so we're starting off with a fun clip. 2-on-1. Puck comes across, and no shot happens, but we get a look at how Hrabal approaches the situation. So puck comes in, he's well positioned, kind of at the top of his crease, toes touching the top. Puck comes across, and look at his hands. First thing you notice, good hands, good structure. Puck misses. If we play it at full speed, you'll notice it's not a very fast across, and it's not a very hard stop at the very end either. That's something that you'll see a lot of as we go through these clips when Hrabal moves. It's not particularly fast movement, and it's not particularly quick stops either. The edge control isn't quite there yet to give him strong pushes and strong stops. So once again, coming in at the top of his crease, a nice little post integration there. Now, something I do want to point out is the fact that Hrabal goes into the RVH, and this is something that we're also going to see later on in further clips, pretty early. There's no real reason to be in the RVH when the puck is in the corner, because at that angle, the puck has time to rise up and go in, because you can even tell he's not perfectly up against the post. Even if you're 6'6", you still need to be on your feet in that situation. Puck comes out, and he gets a nice little push off the post and plays it well. Alright, so we'll play this at full clip, and the first thing you'll notice is he's not square to the puck. First of all, that puck didn't go in, which is a thing that we see with players quite a few often, celebrating goals they did not score. But you'll also notice Hrabal, his side is turned to the play. That's not what you want to see from your goalie. So let's rewind it a little bit. So we see the player get the puck, and Hrabal ends up with his side square to the puck. Now, why does this happen? Because he doesn't and can't rotate quick enough and then push off to get over there square to the puck. So what does he do? He just kind of throws the leg out, which is a problem. So what he's kind of making the choice of here, though, is either just get the leg out, hopefully make the save, or try and do a perfect rotation, but you're going to be too late to get to it and not make the save. So in this situation here, you're not too upset because he makes a save, but if you're any team above this level that is looking to bring Hrabal onto your team, this is going to be something that you're probably going to note down and keep an eye on as something that needs to be fixed. You need to be able to rotate and get square to pucks. I don't know if anybody has watched the NHL recently, but there's not a lot of goalies making a living by having their side square to the puck instead of the front of their body. Alright, so here we go again. Nice little shuffles. Goes down, but once again, what do we see? See the puck come down here. He stays on his feet. That's important. But look at how he ends up. Look at where the puck is. Look at how he's positioned. He's square to the slot still. He's not square to the puck. He hasn't fully rotated. If there is a player right here, they'd have quite the opportunity to score. He's presenting a very slim profile to the puck in this situation here. Even though he's 6'6", the way that the puck is looking at it is there's actually quite a bit of room on that angle. Alright, so if you're not going to be very quick, if you're not going to be super mobile, something you have to do is stay on your feet or don't lose your edges. Because if you're not good or if you're not great on your edges, then once you're off of them, it becomes an even worse situation. So we see here, he's just kicking along, and hey, he makes a save. But that's something that goalie coaches are going to rip their hair out at. This is not something you want to see. You do not want to see your goalie on their behind trying to make a save, especially when you're 6'6". Alright, so here's where we're going to see his edge control, or lack thereof, fail him. Alright, so he gets across, and by the time the player has the puck, right there, I mean, this player is already looking like they're going to deke. Look at where his stick is. This is not his shooting position. You can't shoot with your stick parallel to the puck and perpendicular to the net. That's not how physics work. So we already can tell that this player is going to be making a move. Unfortunately for Hrabal, though, there's no stopping him when he's sliding unless he runs into a post, which is why his post integrations are good. But he just doesn't have that hard stop that we mentioned earlier, and he just keeps sliding past for the goal. An unfortunate situation, but an example of what he needs to work on. Alright, so next up is positioning. Now, something he's quite good at is being in position, or at least when he is in position, he's offering up nothing. If Hrabal has the time to get in position and be set, there's not a whole lot you're going to be able to shoot at. The player comes down, makes a nice move past the Omaha players, but Hrabal, he holds his ground, makes a save, no additional rebound. That's important. You don't want to make your defense work harder than they already have to. You don't want to create extra work for them, even though they might be creating extra work for you. So here we see how he deals with behind the play situations. So being in the RVH here, that's fine. That's what you want, because in this situation here, a player is most likely going to try and jam it. Now, what goalie coaches can probably debate about is when the puck ends up here. So you notice Hrabal is looking over his left shoulder to see the puck, but the puck is on the right side of the net. But what he's also done is he's made sure that at least the right side of the net is covered. So even if his player loses the puck, if the Waterloo player comes back out blocker side, he has that covered. But if they keep going around, he has good eyesight on it. It's always tough with these behind the net situations because you're always trying to figure out what's the best shoulder to look over, where it should be positioned. It's tough, but it's fixable. If the goalie coach doesn't like it, they'll just tell you to do it a different way, or they'll just tell you to do it a different way. See the puck come out. So scroll back here. Now we're going to watch the puck make its way to the point. And Hrabal, he's at the top of his crease. He sees the shot coming, gets into his shooting stance. Puck comes. And even though it goes through, you notice as we go through a bit of a screen happened here. We have two Waterloo players cutting in front of the net, which momentarily disrupts him, but because he's in good position and because he has pretty quick reactions, he's able to get down, seal the ball on the ice, and because he's in good position and the way that it hits the pads, it goes into a non-dangerous area. Alright, so right here, nice breakaway save. Now he does this because he's holding his edges, he's not retreating back super quickly. He's matching the forward speed, and then watch his hands specifically in this situation here. He don't move until the shot's taken. He sees the shot coming and puts the blocker out. Hands don't move until the save is made. That's very good structure, positioning, and tracking the puck there. Gets a little help from a defender coming in and slashing the stick, but when the stick gets slashed, it still makes it kind of difficult because you think the puck is coming at one angle, but the slash causes the puck to come at a different angle. He makes a save anyways. Very good example of his positioning and structure. So once again, we see some behind the net play there. So this time, his player does lose it. Right, he's looking over the shoulder. Notices the puck goes the other way. Moves over. Good seal. Makes the save. Very good. Alright, so next up is his tracking. And his puck tracking, shot tracking are some of the best skills. He's pretty good at his positioning when he's able to get set and has time to get into the proper position. But the cream of his talent, the thing that he's probably going to be best known for, and what's going to be the most tantalizing aspect of Michael Hrabal, is his tracking. So you see the puck come out, goes through a bit of a screen, no problem, finds it, gloves it down. So this is a little bit of a chaos play. This one can be kind of tough as a goalie to deal with. You see the player come through, three of your own essentially, you get the shot off. And it's kind of hard because, as I mentioned on that breakaway, you're expecting the shot to come at a certain angle, but if the shot release gets disrupted, it's going to do something different. It's almost like a backhander in that case. So here we go. We're going to watch. Puck comes off, makes a save, in good position. He's set. And when he's set, he's going to see the puck and he's going to be able to react properly to it. Look at that. No additional rebound, no added chaos. Chaos ended. So we see here a bit of a movement and tracking excellence. So puck goes down low, it's tracking properly. Now you don't like the RVH here. Once again, puck's in the corner. It's not a big threat. It is a threat though when you go into the RVH and now your head's out and you're leaving an area for them to fire the puck off of. Puck comes up along the boards to the point, out to the other point. He's able to get out, get set, catches it, easy save, ends the sequence where his team is trying to run around a bit. That's what you want to see from your goalie. Ending those plays, catching the puck. Alright, now on to probably two of the most important aspects to a goalie's game, in my opinion. Now, there's a lot that goes into this, there's a lot that goes into being a goalie. But if you're able to read the play really well and react properly to situations, then you're going to go far. Makes goaltending a lot easier. So as we see, another breakaway. But in this particular breakaway, what I also like is see, here's where the shot's coming from. Right in the middle of the slot, at the hash marks. And you see where Hrabal is. He's at the top of his crease. There's not a lot of distance and time for him to react to the shot. We play through. The shooter tries to go 5-hole. Hrabal gets down quickly, almost quicker than the frame can barely even keep up. He's able to track it through. You see him. Watch his head. Shot, save, knows where the puck is going, and is able to get back in position and ready for any potential rebound. Very quick reactions. He's not quick moving goalie, but the reactions of which he can react with his limbs to shots very well. Alright, so here we see a bit of a mishap, a bit of a misread. So the pass comes down low, and we see that rotation issue because look, he's backing up, but he's not square. And the puck comes back out, and the play is just happening a bit faster than he wants it to, because look at where he ends up. The puck is being released from here, and he hasn't rotated. He's once again almost sideways to the puck. And look at this type of save he has to make. His body is not square. So here the puck goes into the corner. Look what Hrabal is doing. He is in the RVH while the puck is over here. Now that's a problem. If this player isn't being pressured and decides to shoot, Hrabal doesn't have the time to get out and take away the top part of the net. He's always on his knees. If that shot gets taken there, there's room above to hit. But luckily, an Omaha defender gets there, forces the play, prevents a shot from being taken. This is another example of improper RVH usage. Alright, so here we see two things happen. See Hrabal, he's expecting shot, but when the shot doesn't come and it's a pass instead, he reacts by going blocker down, and look how much room is over top the shoulder. That's a lot of room because he wasn't expecting the pass. And because he wasn't expecting the pass, he goes into a little bit of a scramble here. So blocker comes down, tries to cover the 5-hole, but a lot of the 5-hole is still wide open. But the shooter tries to go glove side, and Hrabal, like I've said before, he's quick. He's got a quick glove, quick reactions, able to track that shot and stops it, which is important for preventing a rebound. Because if you notice, there's 2 Waterloo players to 1 Omaha player. If there's a scramble for the puck, you like your odds on a Waterloo player getting hold of it and probably ending up in the net. So here we have another play here. Now, what's happening is Hrabal is taking a little bit more time reading the play than what you'd want. Now, from the way he reacts, he's almost expecting 16 of Waterloo to end up with the puck. The puck is here, the Waterloo player is here, so he knows once he sees the distance between them, that's not a shot that's going to happen. But it slows him down, which is not good. It slows down his rotation. And you see he's still trying to rotate out. And number 9 has the puck here. If he's able to catch this a bit better, like even here, he still has lots of room blocker side. But we see Hrabal able to adjust just a little bit at the last second, get ready, get set, and luckily the shot misses. But because Hrabal was able to take out a lot of the room, look, finally, puck started here, ended up here, and in that time frame, Hrabal was finally just able to get in position and force the shooter to miss. Alright, so here we start off with, once again, one of those not well rotations. The side of him is like, he's squared up to the slot, not to the puck. That's not what you want to see. Puck comes low. Look what he's doing. He's anticipating shot, so he goes into the RVH, which is a bad idea. Even if you are convinced that the shot is going to come, if this player is actually going to shoot it, it's still not a good idea. But it's a bit of a safety blanket, right? Like, to be fair to Hrabal, the chance of that shooter making that shot, not high. That's a tough one to make. But as you go into higher levels, that shot's going to be easier for players to make, and players are preparing for it. Players are looking at this type of video, they're winning skill camps, and they're making those shots more and more. The best shooters that make it to the highest levels, that's an easier shot for them. So that's not something you want to give. But because he's on his post, in a situation where he doesn't need to be, now he's forced to go from being in the RVH to getting up, and look at where he's gotten up to. He's pretty far back in his net, and he's not square to the puck. He's square to the shooter's body, but he's not square to the puck, which is why that shot goes in. You also notice as well, he's continuously moving out. If he's on his feet, he doesn't need to get that much of a push off to make up for the time lost getting up. He can use that time getting up to move out more and get set. Because even if he's still off angle a bit, with how fast he is, especially glove side, he still has a good chance at making that save. Instead, he doesn't really give himself a good opportunity here to make the save. Alright, so once again, just misreading the play here. The puck goes into the corner, and he's already into the RVH. Right, face off, puck goes into the corner, he goes into the RVH. It's just not a good idea. And as we'll see here, still down, still down. And because he's in the RVH, he doesn't have, he didn't really have any chance of stopping that anyways, but because you're in the RVH, you think, oh, I can extend for this, because what's the worst that's going to happen? Whereas if you're up on your feet, you recognize, okay, I can't do that. Or if you're in the VH, you know you still can't, you're not going to pull that off. It's too far away. But he misreads it, goes for it, And he puts himself behind the play, even though he doesn't have to move much. He still puts himself enough behind the play that this player is able to find some room and put it in. So I've been doing a lot of misreads and not greatest reaction to situations from Hrabal, but he's not hopeless. There is hope there for him to improve upon his reads. And in situations like this, where he does a good job of it. So first off, he's on his feet. The puck is in his corner. He's on his feet. He understands there's not a shot coming from there, so I don't need to be in the RVH. Shouldn't be in the RVH anyways, when the puck's over there. But at least he recognizes there's no shot threat there. I'm going to be on my feet. That's smart. Then you notice, turns his head. Hey, there's a player coming in. Someone should probably cover that guy. Puck comes out. He's a little bit slow off his post. Once the puck gets to here, you kind of want to see him move out. But he recognizes and understands where that shot is going to come from, pushes out, makes the save, and is able to find the rebound immediately. Good play and something that you look at and think, okay, we can build upon that and fix his other misreads up. If he can continuously make those reads, he's going to be a lot harder to score on than he is now. All right, so that's the end of the game breakdown of Michael Hrabal. If you have, as always, at the very end here is the write-up that I do, or the scouting report, game summary, whatever you want to call it. You can take a screenshot, read it over. If you have any questions, comments, you can obviously comment on the video, or you can DM me on any of the social media. There's links on the About page on this YouTube page. Pretty easy to find. Giants in the Crease all over the place. Instagram, Twitter. There's the website that's attached to this too. Tableau page. Now, obviously, the big question at the end of this is we've looked at his game. What should we be expecting moving forward? Is he still somebody that you take early second round or late first round? If we pick him, is this guy like, can this guy be a number one goalie in the NHL? To that, uh, it's tough because there's a lot of tantalizing aspects to his game. Like you saw his positioning, you saw how well he holds his edges when facing pressure. That's good. When this guy is going 1v1 with the shooter, you're going to bet on Hrabal. He's well positioned, and when he has time to get set, he does very well. Doesn't create any extra rebounds in those situations. He always knows where the puck is. That's very important to a goal. You have to know where the puck is. He does. He also understands his weaknesses, which you see in his game. So that's good. He has an understanding of what he can and can't do, which is also why you didn't see any clips of him playing the puck, because it's not a thing he does. Hrabal is not a puck playing goalie. Might be able to change him into one, but right now with the lack of mobility that he has, that's not something you want to really touch on yet until he gets a little bit quicker and moving around. Now, what are some red flags? Obviously, it's the rough rotations, the general lack of quickness in his game. If you're not able to keep up physically, then it's going to be a really rough go for you trying to make it anywhere. You have to be able to keep up with the game. The game is moving. faster and faster. Players are moving the puck faster around. They're not just faster skaters, they're faster passers too. And what shooters are realizing is if I get the puck off of a pass, the quicker I get it off, the better chance I have of scoring. It's only so fast a human body can move. But that is something that can be improved upon. You can improve upon your movement mechanics. Whether he can or can't, that's tough to tell. That's a more of a goalie coach question. But if you're an NHL team looking at him, that's something you definitely bring up to the goalie coach. Is this fixable? And to what degree is this fixable? I mean, he's probably not somebody that's going to end up like Pecorine, who could just, for being a very big goalie, he was able to move around the crease. You're just hoping to get Hrabal to a level where he doesn't end up sideways to the puck. Now, the other thing that might be harder to get Hrabal to fix or at an acceptable level is the reads. We just went through it, so it's probably fresh in your mind. He has trouble reading the play and seeing where the passes are going to happen. That's an issue for goalies who are agile and can react quickly with their body in terms of movement to get in front of the puck. It's an even bigger issue if you have mobility issues like Hrabal. It's tough being behind the play physically. It's tougher when you're also behind the play mentally as well. If you're not able to anticipate that with his level of mobility, even if he gets it up to an acceptable level at higher leagues, if he's still not able to figure out how to anticipate the pass, then it's going to make it very difficult to advance very far and find success. Because, well, the north-south game, Hrabal is very good at. You play north-south against Hrabal, or you force the team to play north-south against Hrabal, you're coming out looking good. But if there's any sort of east-west or even anything that ends up on an angle, like southeast to northwest movement, that sort of thing, anything that forces him to rotate, he's going to end up behind the play. So those are the things you have to take into consideration here. He's definitely somebody going to be looking at more going forward, just trying to figure out if he's improving upon this during the season. Because if he's showing improvement during the season, then you're feeling very good about him. Because he's already starting from a pretty good spot. And if he fixes those aspects up, he's going to be very tough to beat. But if those aren't things that he can improve, then a successful career in pro hockey, specifically the NHL, is going to be hard to pull off. So, if your team does draft him, you should be pretty happy with it. Lots of tantalizing skill there, but just know this is a project goalie moving forward, kind of in the same way that Sebastian Costa was or is still. Hrabal will be on a bit of a longer development path, which not a huge deal. If it takes him a couple years and then maybe 1 year he just has an epiphany and it all starts to click in. So that's it for this video. We'll definitely be looking at NHL draft eligible goalies moving forward. Don't know who I'm going to look at next, so it'll be a surprise to everybody when the next video drops. Hope this was informative. If you want to talk about this video or other goalies or anything goaltending, hockey, what have you, DMs are always open. Comments are open. Love talking about the sport. Love talking about the position. Love learning from everybody. So, until next time, see you later.